Prehistoric marine reptiles were a remarkable group of creatures that evolved to dominate the oceans long before modern marine animals took their place. The ichthyosaurs, resembling modern dolphins, were among the earliest and most successful of these reptiles, with streamlined bodies and sharp teeth suited for hunting fish and squid. Plesiosaurs, with their long necks and flippered bodies, glided gracefully through the water, some species growing to massive sizes with giant heads capable of swallowing large prey. The mosasaurs, a group of large, predatory reptiles, ruled the seas during the late Cretaceous period, with powerful jaws and long, muscular tails enabling them to chase down and capture marine life, including ammonites, fish, and even other marine reptiles. Additionally, the nothosaurs and plesiosaurids were important members of the marine reptile family, filling various ecological niches as hunters and fish eaters. These marine reptiles flourished during the Mesozoic era but ultimately went extinct by the end of the Cretaceous, likely due to climate changes and the disruption of marine ecosystems. Their legacy, however, lives on in the fascinating adaptations and evolutionary traits they developed to thrive in Earth's ancient oceans. Nothosaurs, marine reptiles from the Triassic period, had long, streamlined bodies with a flat tail and paddle-like limbs, adapted for swimming. Their mouth was filled with sharp, conical teeth, ideal for capturing fish, cephalopods, and small reptiles. Speed and agility likely helped them catch prey in the water. Although they primarily lived in the ocean, nothosaurs would come ashore to bask in the sun. Like modern reptiles such as sea turtles, female nothosaurs likely hauled themselves onto land to lay their eggs above the high water mark. Symbospondylus was an early member of the ichthyosaur group, which resembled modern dolphins in body shape. However, it lacked a dorsal fin, and its tail was long and eel-like. Its long tail made it an efficient swimmer, patrolling deep offshore waters in search of prey. Symbospondylus had a skull about 1 meter long with short, sharp teeth suited for grabbing large prey, although it primarily fed on fish and cephalopods, such as ammonites. Symbospondylus is believed to have given birth to live young, a characteristic found in many later ichthyosaurs. At 3 meters long, Metriorhynchus was smaller than many living crocodiles, but it was highly adapted for a deadly aquatic lifestyle. Its body was streamlined, and its long, powerful tail would have propelled it efficiently through the water with a strong sideways sweeping motion. Metriorhynchus was a versatile hunter, preying on slow-moving creatures like ammonites and belemnites, as well as faster animals such as the giant fish Leadsichthys and possibly pterosaurs. It likely hunted by ambushing prey, with its nostrils just above the surface of the water, allowing it to remain hidden. When prey came too close, it would strike quickly, using its powerful tail and swift movements to capture it. While Metriorhynchus was well suited for hunting in the sea, it would have been vulnerable to much larger marine reptiles, such as Leopleurodon. Unlike modern crocodiles, Metriorhynchus lost much of its armor to enhance its swimming abilities, making it faster and more agile in the water. Metriorhynchus was fully adapted to life in the ocean and likely returned to shallow coastal areas only to lay eggs. It is unlikely that it spent significant time out of the water. The young would have hatched in a marine environment, where they would be protected by the water, avoiding the dangers of a long journey to the sea. Dacosaurus was a genus of extinct marine crocodiliform that lived during the late Jurassic to early Cretaceous periods, around 150 to 100 million years ago. Unlike modern crocodiles, Dacosaurus was fully adapted to life in the ocean, earning it the nickname Godzilla of the seas. It had a robust, streamlined body, powerful tail, and limbs modified into flippers, making it an efficient swimmer. One of its most striking features was its large, serrated teeth, which resembled those of a theropod dinosaur, suggesting it was a formidable predator that likely fed on large fish, marine reptiles, and other aquatic prey. The discovery of Dacosaurus fossils provides key insights into the diversity and ecological roles of marine reptiles in ancient ocean ecosystems. Leopleurodon was a type of plesiosaur, a group of short-necked plesiosaurs, found in marine deposits throughout Europe. Plesiosaurs, a group of reptiles that returned to the sea, appeared during the early Jurassic period and rapidly split into two main groups: long-necked forms, such as Cryptoclydus, and short-necked forms, like plesiosaurs such as Leopleurodon. Leopleurodon had 4 large, paddle-shaped limbs that made it a powerful swimmer. Estimates suggest that it reached lengths of around 6 to 7 meters, with some specimens possibly growing up to 10 meters. It had a large mouth filled with teeth that were significantly long but not as large as those of Tyrannosaurus. Fossil evidence shows that Liopleurodon preyed on marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs, as evidenced by bite marks found on their remains. Recent studies of the skull suggest that Liopleurodon may have been able to detect smells through specialized nostrils, potentially helping it locate prey by sensing the direction of scents in the water. This method of scent detection is still a subject of scientific study but is supported by the unique structure of marine reptiles' nasal passages. Elasmosaurus was a marine reptile with a long, slender neck and tail, and a relatively short body. It swam using 4 flippers, which allowed it to navigate through the water efficiently. As a carnivore, it primarily fed on small fish and invertebrates, though its small head limited the size of its prey. Elasmosaurus likely spent most of its time in shallow coastal waters, where it would cruise for schools of fish. It may have occasionally dived to the seabed in shallow areas to find gastroliths, small stones that aided in digestion and provided ballast. While it is uncertain if Elasmosaurus traveled long distances for mating, some evidence suggests it may have been viviparous, giving birth to live young and possibly rearing them until they were old enough to fend for themselves. Halosaurus was a smaller species of mosasaur compared to its larger relatives, such as Hinosaurus. It likely inhabited underwater caves and cracks, using these environments for shelter and ambush hunting. Halosaurus may have waded near ledges where fish-eating birds, like Hesperornis, gathered, using an ambush strategy when the birds dove for fish. Mosasaur teeth, including those of Halosaurus, were conical and specialized for gripping and holding prey, though they were not as effective at slicing through flesh. Once Halosaurus caught its prey, it would swallow it whole. Its jaw had flexible joints, allowing it to open wide enough to accommodate large prey. Like other mosasaurs, Halosaurus possessed pterygoid teeth, extra teeth in the back of the mouth, that helped secure its prey while its jaw moved forward to swallow the victim. The mosasaurs were one of the success stories of the late Cretaceous period. The largest known mosasaur is Mosasaurus hoffmanni, which could reach 17 meters in length. These giant mosasaurs were apex predators in the sea and were widespread across the world. Much of their day would have been spent swimming actively through the water, hunting for prey. Their diet included a variety of animals such as ammonites, birds, turtles, and occasionally larger and swifter prey, like sharks and plesiosaurs, when the opportunity arose. Mosasaurs were fast swimmers, using their powerful tails to propel themselves quickly in pursuit of prey. They likely relied on their speed and agility rather than stalking their prey using cover like seaweed and rocks. Once within striking range, they would rapidly close the distance to capture their target. Being caught in a mosasaur's jaws meant almost certain death. Although giant mosasaurs were the top predators in the sea, they were still vulnerable to attack. One mosasaur fossil bears the marks of a shark bite in its spine, showing that they were not invincible.